Heath, you're going to give me your top 3. Who has impressed you the most so far in the Premier League from the top 3? So, Heath, let's begin with you. Your top 3 power rankings, Premier League.
I'm going to do this quick. I'm going to go with Liverpool is my number 1. Obviously, Jurgen Klopp. He stopped wearing his glasses, but he made 6 changes. He's able to see what the quality of the team is now and rotate those guys and live confidently and knowing that he can rotate players that can get him results. So I think depth is everything again, as usual. So they're finding different ways to win as well, and they're knowing when they need to high press to get those results. So Jurgen Klopp, all credit to him. Number 2, Graham Potter, 4 wins, and I think a loss in the league so far linked with Arteta's job. I'm not sure if he's the right guy, but if you go back years, he was the coach of the 4th division, Östersund in Sweden.
Well done on saying Graham Potter. Yeah, well done.
Which is central Sweden, but if you were there, you'd say this is the most north I've ever been in my entire life. There's nothing here, and he grinded through all that, went to Swansea, and now he's got his chance, and he's got this team humming, and seems to thrive really well in these projects where you're kind of swimming against the current, or you're a little bit behind and you're kind of building it to make it better, like incremental improvement. So all respect to him. My last one shouldn't probably be on this list, Patrick Vieira, just because he's only got 5 points after, I think it's 5 games this season so far. But we're really seeing a foundation being built there that I think they're going to come, that those results are going to come and they're going to come consistently. And just to see him sort of build that foundation, I think is really great, even though, again, you could say he could be on my biggest losers because they should have more points than 5 at the moment.
Love it. All right, Jimmy, let's go.
Yeah,
top 3.
I'll say Graham Potter is my number 1. I'm speaking about the whole season. I think that he's done an excellent job for all the points that Heath mentioned. I'm going to actually say Rafa Benitez at Everton. I know he lost to Aston Villa this past week, but prior to that, they were undefeated, and it's not easy, I assume, to be a former Liverpool coach taking on Everton, the job, and having to convince everybody that, hey, I still got your best interest at heart. I'm not trying to sabotage anything here. So I think what he's done with the squad, I think they're going to have a good season and be competing for that top 6, maybe around the 6th or 7th spot. And then I want to give a shout out to Brentford's Thomas Frank. I think he's done a great job with them in particular. And they have, when I look at the standings, they're currently in 9th. 2 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses. I just love his vibe. I think he can see things for what they are. I think he really instills a nice belief in his team. And obviously that first win against Arsenal to start the season was really special for the club. And I hope that they stay up. I think it's a great story.
Yeah, no, really good point on Thomas Frank. By the way, with 10 men, they kept their opponent, Wolves, with no shot on target. They're very well defensively. All right, let's talk about, finally, let's go quick here. The top 3 was falling short of your expectations. Jimmy, we'll go with you this time. Top 3 falling short of your expectations.
I would say Marcelo Bielsa is on the top of my list. And I'm a bit surprised because I just thought, and everybody thought, they were going to push on from where they were last season. But I think now that people have maybe been introduced to the tactics of Bielsa and might know what's coming a little bit more, even though you feel like over a 10-month season, people should know what's coming. They just couldn't figure him out. And this season, for whatever reason, they're lacking something. I don't know exactly what it is, if it's just due to injuries or Bamford not scoring those timely goals like I thought he did a lot last season. So I'll put Bielsa there, actually, and they're currently in 17th place, only 3 points after 5 games. Not good enough, I'd say, with regard to that. I'm going to throw Mikel Arteta in there. I know Des is throwing stuff in our little private chat about, hey, he's got 6 points in 5 games. But you beat Norwich, and that hit off Nicola Pepe's heel, didn't know anything about it, and Aubameyang kind of tapped it in. And then you got one against Burnley. Yeah, sure, it's away from home. But when you played against teams that actually matter, whether it was Chelsea, that was a 2-0 ass kicking, or the 5-0 slap down by Manchester City, Arsenal really aren't up to snuff with regard to
what a snob, Jimmy. What a snob
I am. You know what? I'm an Arsenal elitist, Heath. This guy sucks. Okay, so outside of that, though, everybody else is kind of where I expected them to be. Maybe Brendan Rodgers and Leicester in 12th, right above Arsenal. But the fact that they're managing kind of a back line that's decimated due to injuries, I'm not too surprised. Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, everybody's kind of else outside of Graham Potter in 4th, and Brighton. Everybody else is kind of where I expected them to be. So, yeah, I don't have a third. I just have Bielsa and Arteta.
No, I like it. All right, Heath.
Okay, I'm going to go with Daniel Farke. This sounds terrible, right? Norwich, I know they're like the only team still on the planet that is self-funded. So I'm being very harsh on them. Again, they played Liverpool, City, Leicester, and Arsenal to start their games. Yeah, this is such bullying. But they played Liverpool, City, Leicester, and Arsenal in their first 4 games, and then they got Watford. And then I watched them play against Watford, and I was like, this team is absolutely terrible. They got Kabak that was at Liverpool on loan, and he was horrible on loan. Like, if you watched him when he was at Liverpool, you would see that he's not a Premier League quality player. He's a young player on loan from Schalke, and now he's there. Not good enough. And then Hanley, the Scottish international, just doesn't look at the pace you need to be in the Premier League. A little bit slow, a little bit step behind. I know it's a huge challenge, but they had a chance against Watford. That should have been their real homecoming in front of an incredible crowd. And that was my first test of him, and he failed that test. And so he's kind of on my biggest losers list. And I think
5 losses, a 12 goal difference.
But he brought in Josh Sargent. Like, he showed some respect to an American international. That'd be enough to put him high up your list.
I do. And he seems like a really nice guy, and probably somebody I'd love to do like an Oktoberfest with or something like that. But that was their test against Watford. Again, they battered the championship. They crushed people through it. And I just don't think they have that same identity, because I think you can get points in any league in the world if there is just a fight like hell mentality that's organized and disciplined. You might be on the final weeks of the season for relegation, but you're 1 or 2 wins off of safety at that point. And I think they need to tap into that. Number 2 is, again, Arteta, for the reasons that Jimmy mentioned. He's not getting off that. Again, power rankings, he's gone up in the power rankings, but still on the season down near the bottom in terms of performances. And then the last one that I was only thinking of that wasn't discussed was just David Moyes with the old Mark Noble penalty kick. That was one.
God, where, hold them accountable for one move throughout the season. Jesus.
Oh yeah, it's just I just don't get that. You have enough quality, the rhythm, the feel of the game. And again, nobody expected De Gea to save that. They were already writing that off on a point, And so, yeah, those are the ones. And as Jimmy said, the rest of them I think are pretty well within, if we're looking at sort of defying my expectations, whether above or below. I think most of them are rather underwhelming outside of a Leicester or something like that.